What's going on, everybody? It's David with Lunar Beaches Crypto. Oh, guys, what do we got coming up? We've got the FOMC this week. What are they going to do? Well, if you watched my video from last week, my little video of thinking out loud, I think, something like that. Basically, you should have got an idea of what I think is coming. I believe this week could have. It's going to be a very. There's going to be a lot going on. As far as the markets, the markets are going to be volatile as crap. Maybe not Monday or Tuesday, but starting Wednesday, yes, because that's the FOMC meeting, and what that means is that Powell is going to come out and he's going to say we are raising interest rates by 50 basis points, or he's going to say we are now going to pause due to recent situations in the banking sector. We are going to pause. If he says pause at all, even if he says we're going to raise today, but we are going to pause by next FOMC, or we are considering pausing, or anything of the sort, markets will rally. In my opinion, not financial advice, markets will rally. Why do I think this? I think this because the market would take this as a good sign. And, basically everything will be okay, right? Everything will be okay. And then later, a few months down the road, when Powell says we're going to start cutting rates, the second he says that, or the second that the rate cuts start happening, the market will tumble. That is my thesis. I don't have any timetable or anything like that. It's just when that happens, it's going to line up with something in the charts, like it always does, and the market will tumble. And it will be, it won't be good, I don't think. But without that, let's just go ahead and go into the charts right here, and see if we can tell where we might end up later this year using specifically and only the Traders Reality hybrid system. And I do highly recommend you go over to the Traders Reality YouTube channel, check out Tino. He's an awesome guy, from what I can tell, or at least his YouTube channel is awesome. His seems like he has an awesome personality, great storyteller, just really good at breaking down news and giving you an idea of what's going on in the marketplace. But yeah, without that, this is his indicator, or his community's indicator. They built it, and now we have this. And what this is the hybrid system, is what it's called. Traders Reality hybrid system. So what it shows you is what's called vector candles. Now these vector candles are very important because these vector candles show volume. They represent where the market makers are initiating price action, price delivery. So red means sharp selling, green means sharp buying, blue means sharp buying with an increase in volume, 150% increase in volume of the last 10 candles or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But they are typically towards the end of a move. You do typically see that. And then the purple is typically towards the end of a downward move. So, and that's just an increase in volume on that. So what I have gathered from this indicator that I think is pretty awesome, or from what I can do with it, I can just see the highlighted volume candles. I actually learned part of this from a fellow Discord member, Sniper's Nightmare. Got you, bud. Thanks for your trading strategy that you told me about that I'm totally have implemented into my strategy. But yeah, so what I did before I came on here and looked at the charts, I was looking at the charts and I just took out the red vector candles that hadn't been recovered on the way down of the last bear market. So you can see this is December 2017. So this is of the last bear market, and I wanted to plot out these vector candles to see where the rallies, like the 2019 midsummer rally, and where the where the all-time high broke. So let's go ahead. I'm going to and if you want this indicator, you can just go to indicators, type in, there we go. Traders Reality Main. Traders Reality Main. There's an Infinix, which I think was like a community version, but this is the legit version. Yeah. So, go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna turn on the magnet, and I'm gonna grab me a horizontal ray, and I'm gonna turn on the drawing tool lock so that it stays using the ray. Makes this go by so much quicker, so I don't have to constantly come over here and re-click the ray. Little tip. Trading view tip. Alright, so we can see that this red vector candle here, part of it got filled with this wick right here, and then I'll take the high up here. As you can see, price came up back to this wick right here and then tumbled down. Now here's another red vector candle. I'm going to take the top there and this wick right here, because that's almost a full recovery of that candle there. This is a full recovery of this purple candle right there, of this purple vector. Now if I move to the right, we can see where the midsummer rally went up to. It was that break of the support that was being held right here. Let me take off the magnet. That support right there, that midsummer, or no, just that bear market support. Before that broke, you have this move down, and it really breaks that low. But man, that's I don't know if I can count that wick, to be honest. But anyway, what am I getting at? So we came back up to the most recent vector candle that hadn't been taken on the daily chart. It's exactly where we went to. Then we came down to, let me just mark this off right here. So I'm going to take a horizontal ray so that it goes all the way across. And then I'm going to turn off, yeah, there we go. All right, I need to thicken this thing up. And I need to change it to the line so we can see it. Where do we go to over here? So we went to no vector candle on the daily. So what can we take from that? Well, there is a giant red vector candle here, and it basically hit the midway point on that one and on this one right here and this green one right here. So you see there was all this volume in this one range just right here. So let's just go ahead and go to today's time. It would help if I just click the today button. All right. Now, these are the lines that I just drew out. And as you can see, that top one, the one that broke, finally, that broke the all-time high of 20K back in 2017. Or actually, this was the 2020? Is that when we broke 20K? I think so. Doesn't matter. But as you can see, we did that fall last year, midsummer last year, 2022, came right down to that point. Right down to it. And then came up, took half of this vector candle here. And this was the most recent one that got taken. So let's put the magnet on there. Whoops. All right. I'm going to do that and that. So that's taking up this, leaves this space right here of this red vector candle. And what have we done? We came right up to the top of it. It got rejected, and now we've blasted through it. Now, what is next? That is the $1 million question. How low can this go? Now, as you can see, we have some vector candles down here, so this thing could whip right back down here. We do have a green vectors. Oh, this big green vector move right here. Massive displacement going on because we did break this high here within this move up. Got a small correction and then blasted through this next high. Pretty significant correction. Blasted through. That one didn't. That would barely tapped. That's basically a double top. That was a harsh rejection, but then it just came roaring back, blasted through that high right there, and then took out this red vector candle here. So where do we go next? Is it down first and then back up, or do we continue to rally? That's the $1 million question. But right now, I'm not looking for longs. Why? Because this move right here. I mean, this move right here is massive displacement. Massive. I mean, this is like basically all vector candles on the daily chart. And that just shows a lot of volume, a lot of market maker activity. And we've gone up 42% basically in the last, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But really got there on the 8th day. So within a week, 42% on Bitcoin. Within a week. That's insane. So, but it is not unheard of. In fact, previous market rallies were like 100%, or bear market rallies were 100% rallies. So going from 15K to 30K kind of makes sense, you know? But let's see if the vector candles say that it makes sense. So we've already got this one. We've taken that one. I'll leave those lines there. What's the next one? Where is there any kind of space? Well, this is where we might have to play with the volume, or we can just go ahead and say, hey, we got this right here. That big space right there. This one's kind of too tiny. This one's basically taken out. I mean, this looks like it kind of got worked out, but at the same time, I'm also thinking, what about just like the bear market bottom in the last time, where the COVID-19 crash came down to? Where did that leave us? And that was, you saw it. That put us like somewhere in the middle of this range, which puts us at about 30.5K, which wouldn't make a lot of sense, honestly, for us to go to that level and get rejected. Also, down here, man. It's not, I might take off the drawing luck. Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, got that right there. And then, I mean, you got to go with the support. I would go with the one that's got some volume, a red vector in it. So that's 28.8K. So could see that. And this goes all the way up to 34K, which I could see that as well. But this is also, if I just drag this down here, and this is where I mesh some of price action concepts with the hybrid system. And I can say, all right, this vector candle is also a fair value gap on the daily. So somewhere between 32.6 and 33.7 could be a possible range. But that, if we go through the past, we do fully take out the vector candles. So what if we come up to this fair value gap right here to take out this red vector candle? Maybe that bottom is right there at 34.2, 34.7. That's a tight enough range to where you could set a stop loss at 35K and see what happens for short. Not financial advice, of course. That's just something that maybe keep in your mind. I don't know. So let's just go ahead. All right, so bam, right there. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks right. It looks right? So what is our goal with these EMAs, though? Our goal with these EMAs here is to bring this 800 down, meaning get the candles above it, but mainly get all the other EMAs above this 800 EMA on the daily. Once they all get above it and they all line up as far as the 7, the 13, the 50, the 200, then the 800, like your EMA ribbons. I don't know if you know what an EMA ribbon. Go to your indicators, click on, type in EMA ribbon, and you'll figure it out pretty quickly. But once they all line up and it's all good to go, as far as it's expanding, then you see just like this right here. You get your 7 and your 13 above your 50, and it goes up, hits that 200 EMA, breaks that, because your 13 and your 7 and your 13, maybe it's 9. I think it's 7 and 13. They're still spread out. You see how spread out they are right there? They're still spread out. That shows nice volume, nice volatility to push that price up and past that point right there. And then as soon as they cross, you're getting a correction. I mean, you're already in the correction, but as soon as they cross, you're getting a correction. You come down to the 200 EMA, and that is where the 200 and the 50 EMA cross after you get a bounce off of that 200 EMA and a push up to this level here. Perfect rejection. Come down. Everything passes under. All EMAs except for the 13 pass under, well, I guess just the 7 passes under the 200 EMA. Then you get another push up and you get more separation. And now you have the 50 comfortably above the 200 EMA. So now it's just all about working this out like this. And then we could just do something just completely crazy like that right there. Just so that this thing keeps riding. Just so that this EMA, this 800 EMA keeps riding and kind of riding and maybe coming down and then starts to turn. And then the 50 EMA just stays in the middle and then it comes up, or maybe the 50 EMA does more of like a split through them all. And then you've got your 13 and your whatever. They're going to go with this, and they're going to go with it, right? They're going to go with it. They're going to come down, and they're going to go with it. I know this is sloppy. Doesn't matter. But when they're all above that 800 EMA, that will be a very, very good sign that we are bullish. As you can see, this will take time. It will take time. So, how low can we go is the next question. Tino calls for 8K on his channel, which is possible. I do find that hitting old vectors like we did here, that does intrigue me a little bit. So that 13,000 to 13.5 looks interesting to me, since we did tap that one there. So that does. I wonder if this was I wonder if this low right here was a vector candle. Bam. In the past, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. And this is just on the daily, so okay, no vector candle there. This was a big push to break. This was a big breaking point right there to get that push above. That one didn't get it above 20K, but it's what led into it before it really got going. Let's follow on down, see if there was any significance during the bull rally. Come on. All right. So there's nothing there. There's nothing there, other than the fact that we do have a little bit of a fair value gap right there. And it basically hit the bottom of that fair value gap. So that is interesting to me. I mean, it came right in, like it tapped it, went into it, almost came back down, tapped it again. Old fair value gap, man. That's all it was, an old fair value gap. So we know that we got this right here that we could come down to. Is that in here? We did have big blue candle there, but as you can see, we have an untapped vector, green vector here, which is at about, let's get rid of these real quick, because this is old. So let's do a fairly, there's a blue, and then the bottom right here, because that's a wick that did take a little bit of this green one out. Then we have, yep, we got a little bit of green here, so I can go bam, and then do the bottom of this one right there, 9K, and this is Tino's 8K right here. No, it's this one, this giant candle, green candle right here, because he says that's the one that initiated the bull market. In my opinion, if we come on down, the one that broke the structure is the one that matters most to me, which would be, yeah, yep. So you got that big red vector there. This one was the one that pushed through it. So, yeah, right there, and right here. So these would be my levels. Let's go all the way over. Crunch on down. All the way down here. If we're going to go lower at some point. Maybe we go higher, maybe we go lower. Right now, it's just kind of like no man's land. Kind of waiting to see what we do up in this range. And if we, kind of just waiting to see what's coming up. How long is this video? 25 minutes. All right, I got to end it right there. Hope you guys found, I know this looks crazy with all these lines on here. I don't typically just have these lines up. I just wanted to be able to show you these levels. So if you want to take a screenshot it, take a look at the levels yourself. This is using the Bitcoin index chart. All of this TA was on the daily. So yeah, check out that Indicator Traders Reality. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the content. I was a little monotone. It is Sunday. It's in the morning. I'm just kind of chill, I'm just kind of chill right now. Just looking at the charts. But yeah, be careful on Wednesday with that FOMC. It is going to be a bloodbath one way and the other. Why? What do I mean by that before I go? What do I mean by that? Look, I could see this thing ripping down this week on the FOMC. If he says that they're raising it 50 basis points, but their stated goal for this year was 75 basis points. That 50 basis points means that's it. They're done. So they might want to get that out of the way. But all that really matters is if Powell says the words pause. And he makes it known that they're looking at pausing. Because if we get 50 basis points, that could send the market crashing down. But if he says anything about pausing, this thing is going to shoot straight back up, all the way up to probably 34K and probably even higher. I've got my eyes on 40K, but if we are to follow previous bear market rallies, then it's not likely going to go much higher than this area right here, 28.8 to 30.5. To me, that seems like a nice sweet spot. So yeah, and that's heavy resistance. And also, if you go look at the past, you can see that this low right here, let me mark off that low right there. That's that bottom right there. And that's exactly where I circled, coincidentally. So, will we see this one come up here? Or will we see it meet resistance and come back down, possibly set new lows, and then skyrocket back up? Who knows? But that's gonna be it for this video. We go day by day or week by week. There's no predicting that far out into the future. I can only guess. I can only say, hey, whenever Powell says this, whenever he says it's gonna pause, I think that's gonna be bullish for the market. Whenever he says cut, I think that's the market is done short immediately. Not financial advice. That's just what I would do. You might get a quick spike up when he says cut because people think that's bullish, and the market maker's going to bring price up so that they can sell off at the highest possible price. But that's going to generate so much buying liquidity. But you have to have somebody selling if somebody's buying. So, ginning up all of those buys provides the liquidity for the market maker to sell. Because you can't sell if no one's buying. You can't buy if no one's selling. You'll hear that on the Traders Reality YouTube channel. Go check it out. Check out my boy Alex O'Crypto. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.